What's up, guys? Welcome to your legitimate 64th Android tutorial for the new Boston, again with me, Travis. And we're going to get into our first little animation by extending the view class. So let's do that real quick. And now what we need to do is basically, when we work with animation, when we're using the view class, you want to use a method called onDraw, because basically we're going to have a canvas which is going to be our background of our activity, and then we can draw onto that canvas just like painting stuff onto a canvas. That's what we're going to do. So we need to create this method called onDraw, and this is a legitimate or this is a actual method. So you might want to type @override, and then actually let's see if they have the easy way to put this in. So right click, source, implement methods, and let's see if they have it. onDraw right here, yes. So just click that. It takes a canvas within its parameters. Hit OK, and there we go. We have our onDraw method now. Now what we can do is just basically we're going to set the background a certain color, such as, let's do white. So what we're going to do is mess with this canvas, because again the canvas is kind of the background, or you know what we're working with. So we're going to say canvas, because that's what they labeled it here. So whatever this variable name is, you type that and then hit dot, excuse me, and we can do some draw methods on there, because you know we want to paint onto our canvas, so to say. So we can say something like draw color. Let's click that method, and then we're going to say refer to the color class, because again they have some defined colors for us already. So we're going to say color, referring to the color class, and you know we can pick a color from here. So let's do like white, all uppercase white, like that. And basically now our activity is going to have a white background. And let's also add our bitmap that we created within our constructor, because again anytime this class is accessed, it's going to go through the constructor first. Basically our constructor, you can kind of think of it as our onCreate method for this class. So think of it that way. So basically we set up our bitmap already, so all we have to do is say draw bitmap, and then we have some different parameters. As you can see, we're going to take one that says, you know, the top left, or the left and the top, and also what paint, what we want to paint. So, or the bitmap, the left, the top, and then the paint. So click that, and we're going to fill these in. Again, we created this bitmap already called gball, so type that out, gball. And then basically, is my emulator pulled up? No. Okay, so let's say this is my screen. I know it's not really same shape as a screen. Let me try and get it same shape. Basically, when our emulator starts, it's, you know, it has a width and a height, and basically it's defined by the pixels for the most part. So you know you have this many pixels in the width and this many pixels in the height. So it starts at the top left corner, and as we go over it's going to get higher and higher for the width, and as it goes down it's going to get a higher and higher value for the height. So for example, here's 0, 0, and you know here is, I don't know exactly, you know, the center is basically something else, but it's going to be a higher value. So let's just try and draw it first right in the top center of the screen. And also our ball that we included, let me pull this up, and as right here, this is you know, it's transparent background, but that's about the shape of my ball right there. That's being selected, and when it draws, it's going to also draw from this top left corner. So we need to keep that in mind as well, and I'll show you what we can do to get around that. But first, let's do because we want this is the width, so we want in the center. So what we can do is we can grab the canvas size, because again the canvas takes up the whole width, and we can hit dot, and then we can say get width right here, and that's going to return the value of the pixels of the whole width that's available to us. So let's put that in parentheses, that whole thing, and right, we don't have to do that, but this is just kind of easier for me to look at, because again, this is just how far left we want it. So basically it's getting the whole size of the width of the canvas, the whole width of the canvas, and then it's dividing that value by 2. So that's kind of what we're doing there. We're going to do for the top, it's just going to be 0, because again, we want to set it at the top of the screen. And for the paint, we're just going to say null for now. So just type null. And now when we run our activity or application, we're going to actually have our bitmap on there in a certain location. So it's going to take a little bit for my emulator to start because I haven't really been working with it, but let's just kind of go over everything we've done so far. So basically when we call this graphics class, it's going to do the onCreate method, and then it's going to be like, here's our set content view, and we set it up to our own personal view, and this view is of the object type myBringBack. So basically what we did is we said we want a new bringback object or instance of that object, and we want to pass in the context. So then we go over to, so it's basically going to get to this line and be like, okay, let's see what that has to offer, and then it's going to go into our constructor and set up our reference to our bitmap. We didn't really use the context for the most part yet, but we still have access to that context from our graphics class. And then we set up our bitmap, and we just created onDraw method, which takes in a canvas. The canvas is the background or whatever is available to us, and then we set the background color or the canvas to white, and then we also drew a bitmap on there, kind of in the top center. It's not going to be exactly the center that again, it will draw to the top left corner of our bitmap as well, so it'll be a little off center. So let's click on our graphics class, and there we go. We have our little graphic sitting up there. And again, like I said, this bitmap, it's drawing it right here, the top left corner of our bitmap, which is right here, which is also the center, because we grabbed the whole width, then we divide that by 2, which is right here, and that's where it drew the bitmap, which is a square block like this. So hopefully that made sense. Again, it's kind of a basic introduction to drawing and all that good stuff. I'll show you guys how to animate and show you guys some other things we can draw with our canvas in the next tutorial, but I'll catch you then. Peace.